good to go.
You're on the air.
Tell us what your name is. And
Joyce London.
Joyce. And
Narragansett.
you were at Hope High School on
Class
the day?
of 64. Yes, that was 1963. Very sad day.
Can you remember hearing them say Kennedy had been shot? Can you tell us, like, what was it? What happened?
It was unbelievable, and I could not believe it. Very sad. So all I could feel was sadness. And to this day, sadness.
Do you remember where you were sitting or standing or what you did?
I don't know whether I was already in school or it was after school, and I went home and turned the TV on for many days. Still watching. Very sad.
Okay.
Please tell us your name.
Tom Prendergast.
And Tom, tell us about the day. What you remember about the day you learned that President Kennedy had been shot?
Standing on the front, on the steps at this end of Hope, and heard it on the steps, and then for the first time probably realized something very bad had happened in the world.
And what was the impact on you?
It made me aware of politics. It made me aware of politics and how that could happen. So, of course, we didn't know the whole story till we got home and watched the news, but something bad happened that day. That was my first awareness of being interested in politics. That was it.
We're at the Hope High School reunion, and we're asking a lot of questions about what these classmates remember when Kennedy was shot, because they were all in high school at that time. There it is. There's a room full of them where it might be very difficult to get any information, but we got a whole room full of people right here, and there's new people coming in through the front door every minute.
From Johnson's face, it just kills me. It just kills me.
I'm going to talk to you before we leave, because my daughter graduated from the University of Tampa 3 years ago.
You were all in a very, very unique situation. You were at Hope High School when Kennedy was shot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like to know what you remember.
Oh, I actually remember being in geometry class, 10th grade. I forget the teacher's name, it was a woman. And she was called out of class. Probably an administrator called her out. She came back into class, she was crying. She announced to us that Kennedy had been shot. And then they let us out of school that day, and it was just the most somber, unusual day ever.
What I remember is, at least I think I remember correctly, is that we all went outside. It was like a fire. I thought it was a fire drill, and they made us clear the school. I think.
I don't remember that. No.
And I thought they had made us clear the school, and that's when we found out that Kennedy had been shot. I don't know that they even knew. They didn't tell us that he had died already. I don't remember.
Now, we have a lot of Hope High School alumni in California, so let's tell them your names so they can know who they're talking to, and then I'm going to do a close-up on your shot. Okay?
My name is Ralph Fortune. We have a before and an after of me right here.
Okay, and let's do a close-up. And there is Ralph. Okay?
And I'm Margaret Wagner, now Margaret Gibbrey, married to Jerry Gibbrey.
Okay, let's get a close-up there. Okay, now you all know who she is. Okay.
And we were high school sweethearts. And we've been married 43 years.
We're all Smith Hill guys.
43 years during an age when people are married 43 minutes.
Right. And I'm Jerry Gibbrey, and I came from Smith Hill, so I knew Ralph on Smith Hill before, well, at Hope. And this is how I look now. That's how I looked before.
Oh, boy.
Hello to everyone in California.
Because
They were bunking school. I was in school. I was bunking class.
Okay. Well, the principal has sent you to track you down. 45 years later,
start there.
And we'll start.
Can't remember my
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, we were bunking school at Marie Price's house.
Yes.
A whole bunch of us.
Now, kids across America are not going to know what bunking school means.
I know. Well, we skipped school just for the day, and we were very studious. We were watching the 1 o'clock show, and it came across the air that the president had been shot.
And tell our audience who you are, because we're going to show this to everyone.
My name?
What was your name in high school?
Well, my name is still the same. It's Beverly Montero.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Providence. And, you know, we have a bunch of girls that we used to walk to school every day, back and forth. About 6 or 7 girls. Sometimes we would hitch rides. And
Now, are some of those girls here tonight?
yes, they are.
Okay.
Most of them are here tonight.
Okay, then I'm going
And
over
this
here.
is Carol Center. She's one of ours.
Okay, Carol, what do you remember on that special day?
On that special day, I was under the influence of older friends.
Oh, here we go.
And so I went with them and bunked school because I was a very good student.
I'm going to zoom in on that name tag now.
And I want you to know that I adored John Kennedy. And I was crushed. I just couldn't believe it. I was broken apart, and I'll never forget that day ever. It was the killing of a dream.
Met him downtown and you shook his hand. We met him when before he became president. He came here and he was running at the time, and we pushed through the crowd. We got to the front and we were able to shake his hand, and we thought that was wonderful. So we were devastated when you got shot. Devastated.
And I remember her name, and
She was our vice president.
Yeah.
You're coming back now.
Okay.
No,
We want you to tell everybody who you are, and then we're going to zoom in on your picture there. And where were you when you heard the news about Kennedy?
My name is Dottie Costa, and when we heard that Kennedy had passed, I was skipping a class, and they were having a fire drill, and me and a friend had to run out with the rest of the kids to get out of the school. And after that, we just left and walked down Thayer Street to find our girlfriends that were skipping school over a friend's house.
Okay, you heard it first on Kids Talk Radio.
You talking about the Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got dismissed. I think it was early morning.
And could you tell our audience who you are, so
Who I am now?
or who you were then?
Okay, I was Kathy Miranda.
Kathy Miranda. Okay.
I don't talk too much.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. What you remember when you heard the word that Kennedy was shot?
I tell you what, I heard Kennedy was shot. I was coming home from basketball practice. I was at the Rexall drugstore. I don't even think they have Rexall in Rexall drugstore at the corner of Transit and Brook Street. And I couldn't believe it. I walked in the store, the woman behind the counter, and we used to go in there and get nickel sodas, Coke with vanilla in it. And she was crying. I said, what's going on? You didn't hear that the president got shot. I couldn't believe it. I had basketball practice, so we missed it. We didn't even know. I was stunned. Stunned.
I was living up in Brunswick, Maine.
So tell our audience who you are. Tell our audience who you are.
I'm Tony Dolphin.
Okay.
Grew up in Providence. I was living in Brunswick, Maine, going to high school up there. I went to Hope for 1 year. I actually went to high school up in Brunswick for a couple of years. And I was playing football with a bunch of friends, and all of a sudden, one of the parents came out to tell us. And we didn't believe it. I mean, we just, we couldn't believe it. We didn't believe it. And she made us come in the house and sit there and watch the television. And you could hear a pin drop, and then you could see the tears fall.
Yeah. I remember sitting in front of the television watching when they were taking Lee Harvey Oswald in the jail when Jack Ruby shot him. Sitting there watching the television. I mean, in front of the old Admiral, the Admiral television. I was sitting there, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, you never forget that. You never forget exactly where you were on those things there. Robert Barbosa and I played in the high school band. We played at the World's Fair, 1964. We played for the March of the Governors, and then we played the Lincoln Pavilion and the Rhode Island Pavilion, and we had a heck of a time. And I'll tell you, one of the chef, Carolyn Tester, she ended up being my cooperating teacher when I student taught at Hope High School. Some years later, it was funny. I'll tell you, we drove them crazy. We had a ball, and that was the World's Fair was at the place that Shea Stadium ended up being built.
Right. Because I was in New York and I drove by that and I said, I've been here before.
I'll tell you what, I still have glasses from that World's Fair.
Wow.
They're tall glasses, frosted glasses. I think I got a set of 4 left. My wife wants to throw them out every once in a while. I ain't throwing that stuff out.
Now, I am going to show this to Marty Geradorian.
Marty. Clarinet. Now, I wasn't a first chair, but Marty played clarinet. He played sax with Jay Walker and the Pedestrians, but he was a clarinet player back at